We are reacting to How Are We Still Alive in Poppy Playtime.
How are we still alive now being 5 chapters deep into the Poppy Playtime series? Not only do we still not know the true identity of who we're playing as, but there has been one question that has grown more and more apparent. How are we, the players, still alive in the Playtime co-factory?
I'll tell you why. To sell more games. It's plot armor build. Let me explain it to me.
Fallen down what seems to be hundreds of feet and landed on the top of our neck, got stabbed through the chest from the back.
What if it's all a dream of one of the dead kids? Here's the thing though, it's kind of confirmed that we're one of the employees. Because, you know, in I think chapter 4, I think the doctor said something along the lines of, yo, you're an employee here, but I don't recognize you. Or something along the lines. That's actually a good question. Why are we still alive? Because didn't we die by a prototype? And somehow we were still alive like nothing happened. Oh yeah, I didn't understand the end. I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I'm just so stupid. Are we being turned into a toy? Because look at this shit. I'm literally paused on the scene. You got stabbed. How?
Dropped in a vat of poppy gel and seemingly shocked back to life by Giblet. So after all we've been through, how have we managed to survive?
How?
Well, in order to answer that question, we need to start at the beginning and go over all that we've been through in the past 5 chapters. To start with, little to nothing happens in chapter 1. We don't go through any significant physical injury, and based on the short length of the chapter, hunger or thirst wouldn't be a problem. In chapter 2, things get more physically demanding, but we still aren't really injured. Hunger and thirst may be an inconvenience.
I think I would have died in the first 3 minutes, which is funny because in the first 3 minutes there wasn't even no huggy wuggy, nothing. I think we all probably tripped and fell and died. Yeah, we could be a toy, but there's more blood when we got stabbed. No, we got stabbed, turned into a poppy gel, and then we turned into a toy. I'm not gonna lie, I think Poppy Playtime is a state of limbo. Think about it, dude. I don't know what it means. I don't know, bimbo. Good year because every time is black actually. Shoot, forgot about that. I just hope they're gonna end it someday. Like if it, dude, just end it by chapter 6, and maybe come out with a few little other games
at this point, but they're unlikely to be an issue.
I gotta stop yapping, keep pausing.
Things start to get rough for the player because we inhale copious amounts of red smoke throughout the game, which negatively impacts our mental functioning via hallucinations. It also could have potentially caused physical injury such as lung damage, making it much harder to battle experiments and traverse factory floors. Kissy Missy also pounces on us after we leave Home Sweet Home and slams us into the ground. Not that it's her
jumping us.
Scared and didn't know we.
Also, how big the map is. We've been going down hundreds of feet. That too. I could have not done any of this. My knees are bad.
Trying to hurt her or not, but it doesn't change the fact that our back was probably hurting after that encounter. Speaking of backs, fix your posture right now. And go ahead and subscribe while you at it. I caught you, and I've never done this before, y'all. I'm gonna drop 2.
Yeah, because Smiley Critters and Poppy have organs. We saw it in chapter 5 in the project. Cracks Poppy's face. Yep, I think though, you know with Dog Day, how he was kind of torn apart? Do you remember in I think chapter 3?
Images, no context, and you're just gonna know what to do moving forward. Got it? All right, cool. And I'm not done talking about Kissy Missy's strength. That slam could have broken a bone, couple vertebrae even. And in chapter 4, we have even more injuries. The relentless attack.
You gotta say, I love these little fucking guys. Look at them. Y'all can see because my webcam. But I love these little mini huggy wuggies. I love them. They're so silly.
From the mini smiling critters and
you are a chill guy. Thank you.
Huggies and the fall we suffered at the end of chapter 4 when Kissy tried to save us. In regard to the second fall, not only do we land on some sharp looking rocks.
Every toy has guts, which is disturbing. But I think it's even more disturbing if the bigger toys. Because how the fuck do you even fill out all of that? They will eat you by the way. The toys, I mean, honestly, fair enough. They've been down there starving.
But you can literally hear the sound of us free falling through the factory.
Ow.
Dang. We just landed head first on some rocks.
Ow.
Falling to create noise means we have landed rough.
Yeah.
Chapter 5. is where the player took some real damage. After a long chase sequence with the prototype, we end up having
he jumped like that
train we're on. Now I gotta give the player his props. This could have been a situation where he just fell on his head and died, but right after, we're stabbed through the back of the chest by the prototype. The player's tolerance for dealing with events that likely would have killed anyone else is unreal. And what do we like to call it, y'all?
The banana monkeys look cute till they start moving. The banana monkeys, I don't think I remember them.
Drop it in the comments. So all in all, looking back at everything that's happened, we can conclude that we've been through a lot. And how has none of it managed to kill us or at least possibly affect our endurance throughout the series? Well, there are several possible explanations to our survival, which I'm going to categorize under human or non-human. First, let's take a look at the human or more realistic explanation.
My favorite.
Start with Chapter 3 explains away one of the main concerns, fall damage. During the game, we find the Grab Pack 2.0, which includes air jets with a tank attached to the back. The purpose of which is to reduce the impact of a long fall. So this likely made the two major falls in Chapter 4
we still land on stone.
Falling slowly enough to avoid landing too hard on the rocks. But you gotta look at the air time we got off the bounce. I don't think the air jets did it. But moving on,
I don't think
human explanation as to why we're still alive revolves around one bodily chemical, adrenaline. Adrenaline is a very
same with Mommy Longlegs. If you remember, she got grinded by the machine and blood ran everywhere, which is very obvious. Every toy has blood inside them, which belong to children, and which let that thing in. I mean, this has been a fact for like the past 4 chapters. It's not nothing new. The ones you find outside and is like, no, the monkey. They're not monkeys. They're little huggy buddies. Also, if they have flare guns, where are the fire axe? What? It's a bowling still. Fire axe? Sink can move, muchacho. Who talked about sinks? What? I don't have toys now. Oh, dude, yeah. I can promise you they all smell like shit. They have organs. They don't shower. I can promise you they smell like absolute shit. Especially in this state. Like when everything was still going on before the dry, it was probably all like, they were probably like bathed and taken care of. But like now, I can promise you they smell like absolute shit. They smell similar to me, probably.
Powerful chemical that the body
You're literally rotting.
during
Exactly.
flight mode.
You're gonna continue your look? Okay, thank you. That smells good.
Same thing. Since the player is constantly faced with murderous experiments,
yeah, because I am sometimes getting nasty facilities. I don't know it, unfortunately.
Running at very high levels. Its first use in the player situation is negating the need for food or water for a short amount of time by rerouting the brain to use stored energy for fuel instead. So it is technically possible to function without food or water for a couple or few days, but adrenaline can't last forever. 3 or so days is about all the player has before we become at risk for something known as a...
What do you think? How long have you been in the factory? I think it was like 2 days. Like the first game, maybe like 20 minutes. The second one, the next one, I feel like a couple hours. I think it's like 2 days, but I think like they're not gonna like survive much longer.
Adrenaline burnout.
Right, I'm not sure.
Is consistently producing adrenaline for a long period of time.
More likely to find the fire extinguishers through fire axes are becoming more and more scarce.
Eventually shut down. At this point, the player can expect extreme fatigue.
Doesn't take that long, probably 2 to 3 years. Yeah, but like I don't think they can really jack out the game because at one point, like, bro, just starve. You're gonna have to eat kissy missy.
Significant cardiovascular strain, body aches, and a weakened immune system. So the adrenaline could have protected us so far, but if we aren't careful in this next chapter, we might start to feel really bad and have a much harder time trying to leave the Playtime Co. factory. Now, can we use the bathroom?
Yeah, if you ain't leaving.
I've seen a huge containment chamber thing with one toilet.
I feel like it has to be Poppy and Huggy because Poppy is so kind to everyone, and Huggy is just misunderstood because he didn't actually see what Bro had to go through, and just assume he's nice. Like he's actually my favorite because he's been through a lot. I think honestly, all of the guys have been through a lot. You know, like yeah, it's just the Huggy we've seen what he's been through like directly through the game. But the others is just like tapes and shit. You know.
one toilet. That's all I'm trying to say. However, the regenerative properties of the Poppy Gel could have reset our adrenal glands, but I'll get more into that in a bit. The second purpose of adrenaline has to do with us constantly encountering and running from experiments. Over the past 2 or so days that this series has lasted, we have encountered so many experiments that have wanted to kill us. And just to name a few: Huggy Wuggy, Mommy Longlegs, Bunzo Bunny, all the mini Huggies, PJ Puggett Pillar, Catnap, Mr. Light, Dog Day, all the mini Smiling Critters, Harley Sawyer, Economy, Baba Chops, all the mini Nightmare Critters, all the Sawyer's Robots, Doe the Domain, Huggy Wuggy, again, all the Wrong Side Automals, Lily Love Breeds, and the Prototype. We have it.
Oh, for like 2 days. Mommy Kindlegs. It's just a Tver. I didn't like the memory game at all. She always be my enemy. Again, I did not play. I haven't really watched the second chapter, so I can't really say anything with Mommy Longlegs. But again, she probably has been through some shit as well, just like Huggy Wuggy, so I can't blame her.
Through it. Suffice to say that our adrenaline is popping off at the moment. So not only could all that adrenaline help us get away from all those experiments, but it could also have really given us a hand when it came to injuries. Adrenaline is able to temporarily minimize the effect of pain.
Not a style.
The amount we probably have, we could ignore a broken bone or a concussion or a couple of broken vertebrae from the
like I said, I will die within
So not only does
20 minutes,
adrenaline allow us to escape from experiment after experiment, but it prevents our body from being worn down over time and even possibly dying if our injuries were bad enough.
Adrenaline is not saving you from a stab that. Yeah, true. Definitely, I agree with that. I don't understand what happened at the end. That is like, I know we found the like blob thing into the gel and we got real. I think, did you get to a toy? Or I missed something.
Finish this point off, back to the topic of Poppy Gel.
Yeah, what even is that?
We still die from our injuries after the adrenaline wore off, but the Poppy Gel could have fixed all of that.
What's
Poppy
Gel?
It could not only mend our wounds, but reset our need for food and water and allow our adrenal glands to work properly again. In this case, the Prototype actually saved us, even if not intentionally, but the credit has to go to my man Giblet. He shocked us back to life and he wasn't a hero. Apparently,
did you know this? Giblet's actually an inside out toy. I think most people know this, but look at him. He has like veins and shit, and like his thingy. He looks like an inside out toy. A shark doesn't stop bleeding. True, but the Poppy Gel.
Now, if the Prototype had impaled us,
if I wear in the player's shoes, I die in 30 seconds because I forget that the enemies exist. Yeah, that too, bro. That too. I've been long dead.
And dropped this into a vat of Poppy Gel, it was only a matter of time before we succumbed to our thirst, injuries, and lack of consistent adrenaline supply. The Poppy Gel gave our body a fresh start, allowing us to healthily continue on in Chapter 6. Now that we've covered the realistic human explanations for our survival, let's move on to the more non-human explanations. The first non-human explanation is that there is something protecting the player, a supernatural.
Yeah, because I see his theory. I see the theory say we're just watching the memories. We're playing through memories because when we die, it's like, you're not dead yet. You still have something to do. You know what I mean? There's like a voice talking to you. So I think maybe we're like watching through the memory.
Of course, this is all but confirmed for us at the end of Chapter 5, right before we're shocked back to life by Giblet. We get our first canon death screen in the series, so we can assume that the other death screens we get throughout the series are also canon, or at least of the same nature as the truly canon one from the end of Chapter 5.
What do you guys think it's gonna end like probably playtime? Y'all think gonna be a bad ending or good? Y'all think we're just gonna free the toys or whatever, live a good life? Or y'all think we're just gonna die and become a toy or whatever? Yes, they have limbo in between life and death. Yeah. Okay. You send it? Okay, I'll check it out.
I don't know why I didn't breathe. Based on things this voice says, such as you don't get to die yet or you're too perfect to lose, we can assume that they're willing us back to life, or rather preventing our death. And this line is reminiscent of what we hear from Poppy in Chapter 2, which may just be tying into our role in this whole playtime toy war.
You are perfect. Too perfect to lose. I'm sorry.
And the player is not allowed to die until they
I feel like the kids are gone. Well, the orphans, yeah, definitely. Like every human in the factory that Like, we still have to, like, save the toys, you know, Kissy Missy, Poppy, the good toys. Even the bad toys, because I'm very kind. Yeah.
Mission that is described, which isn't confirmed, but likely saving the orphans or blowing up the factory. And if that plan is still somehow set in motion or is even a tidbit of a thought in Poppy's mind, she has to go along with the factory. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and click on this video right here.
If I ever upload this on YouTube, follow the guy, because I'm gonna put the link in the description. Assholes.